Hello everyone. We are recording from the ranch of Wonga. We are in Queensland, Australia. I'm so pleased to be in the ranch of Ian and Jeanne. They are the owners of 5 ranches in Australia. They have the largest breeding herd of Belmont Red in Australia. In the last 3 days, we visited their ranches, learning about their management practices and the technology they use. And we also witnessed the top quality of cattle they produce. I would like also to highlight that they treat us like royalty. The accommodation, the food, and all the outings were all spectacular. Thank you very much. You told me that you had a degree in occupational therapy, right?
Yes.
And this breeding business doesn't have anything to do with that. Tell me about your passion for it.
I went to university and I did occupational therapy and I loved that job. And I thought that was the best job in the world. But when I had my children and when they went to school, I wanted to get back into horses. I loved horses. So I bought some horses and I bought 100 acres. And then I thought, there's too much grass just for the horses. So I bought 30 cows and a bull. And then I went, I love cattle more than horses. Then 30 cows was not enough and 100 acres was not enough. So I bought 5,000 acres and 500 cows. And then that wasn't enough. And then we've just gotten bigger and I fell in love with not just the cattle and how smart they are and how easy they are, the Belmont Reds, but also the improvements that we could make in the genetics. And I felt that the rest of Australia needed to know about this breed, which had become a bit silent. It had been a bit neglected. So, and then in the meantime, I married Ian, who was an extremely good cattleman, and with my passion for the data and the objective performance recording, and his knowledge and passion for the phenotype and the structure of cattle, we've really changed the way the breed is.
Okay, that's spectacular. Well, you two make a really great team, managing more than 5 properties with only 2 workers and the dogs, right?
Yes.
Could you describe us your daily routine in managing the properties and the cattle?
I might hand that one over to Ian because I'm mainly in the office.
Yes, okay.
Driving the data.
Okay, how do you manage?
We have a plan, or Jeanne mainly has a plan of what we do each month, and then we break that down into weekly and then daily, and we organise our workers to help with the bigger jobs. But I sort of stay across all the places, managing the feed and making sure that the bulls are in correct paddocks, that they have water and plenty of grass for them to continue to rise in condition. And also now we have a cropping property, so the timing of planting, fertilising and control of weeds also comes into that. So we start most days early in the morning, 5:30, and work through until dark, and very busy, and Jeanne does even more time than that on the computers.
Yes.
So yeah, we're very busy.
I just saw her work at the computer, at the office, right?
Yes.
What about the long-term goals for safer Belmont Red? And how do you see the future of cattle industry in Australia?
The future of the cattle industry in Australia, Ian might speak to that in a minute. I think it's very positive. We've got a great opportunity for clean, green beef for the rest of the world. It's some of the best beef in the world. We've got very high standards for meat quality and for animal welfare. So I think naturally we've got the best beef and the best cattle in the world. For our breed, for Seifert Belmont Reds, we want, we've already successfully expanded from selling 15 bulls 10 years ago to 400 bulls a year now, and our plan is by 2026 to be selling 600 bulls a year. Northern Australia, with largely Bos Indicus genetics, needs Belmont Reds because they're a tropically adapted Bos Taurus. So it's like putting an adapted Angus in your herd to improve fertility, to improve meat quality, to shorten the pendulous sheath, to improve the temperament. But it's a tough animal, like the Brahman or the Nellore, and it will go into the north, into the ticks and the flies, and survive, but improve those traits of economic importance. So our goal is to continue to expand in our numbers, and we believe personally we'd be able to sell 1,000 a year, but I think 600 is enough for two of us plus two men.
Yes.
I think the industry in Australia is moving forward, moving in a good direction, and I do believe that we are at the top of that direction and leading the way, and we're very proud of that here at Belmont.
That's a good job. What have been the biggest challenge you have faced in breeding Belmont Reds, and how you have overcome them?
Traditionally, the Belmont Red was developed by scientists in the 1950s and the 1960s in Australia. And when the Belmont Red was released to the cattle industry in Australia in 1969, it was released in a poor condition because the belief was that the data was there and people should trust the data and not bother about how it looked, even though it had big nutritional challenges and tick challenges. And at the same time, the Brahman was coming into Australia and was performing very well. So the traditional cattle industry rejected the Belmont Red on the way it looked, and also because scientists had developed, not cattlemen. So that was a challenge to overcome a prejudice, an irrelevant prejudice that traditional older generations had. The younger generations are seeing the economic benefits. Big pastoral companies are buying truckloads of our bulls because they need to be profitable. And so I think together we've improved the Belmont Red population genetically, we've expanded the genetic pool, and phenotypically, particularly with Ian's eye for good cattle, we've really changed the phenotype of the Belmont Red, and they are the best cattle in the world.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm so glad we have those in Paraguay. What advice would you give to other breeders looking to improve the quality and performance of their herds?
Buy Cypher Belmont Reds. That's the advice.
That's the advice. Okay, for Paraguay breeders especially.
For Paraguay breeders, buy Paraguayan Belmont Reds.
Okay. And talking about that, how was the reception of the Belmont Red breed in these international markets?
Oh yeah, positive. We're exporting obviously our satellite herd with you in Paraguay. That's very important for us to enter the South American market. We have inquired from North America, but we haven't sent any semen there yet. We export to New Caledonia, Papua New Guinea. We have interest from Vietnam and Fiji. I expect we'll be exporting there very soon. The tropical countries that are seeking better fertility, better meat quality, are looking for a tropically adapted Bos Taurus. And the Belmont Red with the Africana base, not the Indicus base, is the perfect fit for the wet and dry tropics.
What did it mean to you to sell the first Belmont Red bulls in South America in 2022?
It was very exciting. It's something that we didn't imagine would become so good for both of us, and our partnership has been amazing, and we're very proud and we're very pleased with the partnership and how much hard work you are putting in to our cattle, and it's fantastic.
Okay, so buy Belmont Reds, right?
Why
The
Belmont?
best.
Okay, and could you tell me, how do Belmont Reds compare to other cattle breeds in terms of performance and adaptability in international markets?
In the countries that we've sent Belmont Red genetics to, which are the tropical countries, the feedback that we're getting is that they're improving the fertility and they're very adapted. They're adapted to the heat, they're adapted to the ticks, they're adapted to the fly, and other breeds may be adapted, but they're not as fertile and the meat quality is not as good. So the Belmont Red offers the perfect alternative to the traditional Bos Indicus breeds for the tropics.
I think in all countries, including Paraguay, people are looking to eat better meat.
Yes.
Whereas before they just were wanting to eat meat, but now they are wanting better quality meat, and this is a very good way to get to branded meat markets.
And that's what we are looking for.
The meat quality is so good with the
Yes,
Belmont Reds.
yes, yes. Well, so I just want to say that this is a terrific couple. They are not just 4x4, they are the 4x4 in the next level. I see them on action, I just love them, I love this couple, and we are so pleased. Thank you for everything, and hope we are coming back soon.
Thank you. Thank
we
you very
hope
much.
so too.
It's been our absolute pleasure and joy to share our shared passion and our sister breeds. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.